And welcome to our last lesson of the year, last new lesson of the year. We will be doing some review videos later, but this is the end of the course material, so yay, hey, we've made it through. Let's just hang on for this last lesson, okay? You can do it. I know you can. All right, so today's lesson is 8.5, annuities, which means present value. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, present value is the amount at the beginning of the term. And when you're looking for problems that talk about the beginning, you're going to want to say now. You're going to see for the words now or today. Those are going to be your key words that we're going to be looking for in word problems that tell us we're looking at present value. And annuities, again, folks, is making regular payments. As we discussed before, major purchases like a house of $200,000 to $300,000, it's going to be hard for you to come up with that initial amount right away. So you're going to make regular payments. Likewise, the other big thing that you're going to be worried about, hopefully, be well prepared for, is your retirement. You want to have a large sum of money to make sure that you've got in a pot of money so that when you retire, you'll be able to use that pot of money to help you live and survive and do what you want to do. So again, remember that if you want to be able to travel and if you want to have flexibility of having toys like boats and RVs and four-wheelers, snowmobiles, stuff like that, you got to make sure that you're budgeting for that type of lifestyle. Okay. Also remember that, you know, right now it's Miss R talking. I probably need around $1 million in my retirement savings plan before I retire so that I've got enough money to survive or to live my life because I want to travel. And yes, I have an RV and I do love to camp and I have children. So I want to make sure I can take care for that. All right, and here it says, calculating the present value of an annuity is less common than future column. It's the best way to describe this is on your retirement date. So on your retirement date, how much money do I need at the beginning of my retirement so that I have a sufficient regular payments to live, to have some fun, and to pay the bills? Big questions, and guess what? There's nothing more financially important in life than to make sure you can financially cover yourself, cover your bills, and live life and have fun at the same time. All right? We will use another formula for calculating present value of an annuity. Just remember, annuity means regular payments. And your most common annuities that you deal with are a car and a mortgage, okay? But that is set at the beginning, or sorry, that is set not present value, but more future value. Whereas the annuity most common that's used for present value is the amount of money you have to set aside before you go. So start up, okay? And that is the most common thing for that is your retirement. Okay, so it even says here in this box, folks, that the key words to look for is the words now and today. I think I mentioned that above. And remember that R is your regular payment amount. Okay, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that there's a negative N in there. Okay, so really that formula's just been flipped. And again, looking at this, we're going to have 2-3 sets of brackets. Okay, we can do that. All right, I just have a couple examples for you today. Here's one example, and it deals with you guys going off to school. Okay, so maybe some of your parents are going to help you out. That's a good discussion to have. And maybe this is the situation here. How much would your parents need to invest now at 5.2% per annum compounded quarterly to provide you with $500 payment each quarter for the next 5 years? So say they want to help you with each term of your education or something like that. Okay? So when it says, how much do we need to invest now, that tells us the present value equals question mark. Okay. It tells us that we have a regular payment, so that's going to be R. So R equals $500. Okay. And notice in the formula, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the I and the N, so let's figure that out. So I says your interest rate, which is 5.2%, change it to a decimal, 0.052, divided by how often it is quarterly. So divided by 4. And then to get your N, you know it's going to be 4 times per year times the number of years, which is 5. So N is going to equal 20. Okay? Tell me what formula you're going to use, and we're going to use this big one. And yes, there's lots of set of brackets in here, but don't worry, I can help you with this. or your calculator, just put them in and your calculator does the work too. Okay? So when we sub in here, folks, we've got, I'm just going to use color here. So R is 500 with an opening bracket. Okay? 1 minus 1 plus another opening bracket for your I, which is 0.052 divided, I'm just trying to get that decimal in there, there you go, divided by 4, a bracket for the I, a bracket for the closing one, to the negative 20, and then you need another closing bracket to match that. And I need to extend my division line because it's a huge formula. And on the divisor, or the denominator, okay, again, I needs to be in brackets itself, so 0.052 divided by 4. Okay, so what you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is plug this in your calculator. If you've got decent brackets, just keep using the rounded brackets, even though it looks like square brackets here, but you've got 3 sets of brackets on the top and 1 on the bottom. Okay, so try to do that. In some cases, you may have to press equals before you do the divide by sign, depending on how your calculator works. So if you got an error when you were trying it, try that as a solution too. When you plug it in and you get your calculator working properly, you should have $8,755.98. So let's just put that in a therefore statement. So therefore, your parents will need, oopsie, not have, will need $8,755.98 now, I'm going to underline that because that's a key word to have, or today, to have regular payments. And you can use a short form for payments like I am, of $500 over 5 years. Another example of where this is important, so say you're done school and you've saved up, you want to travel for Europe, you want to save, so you got enough money, I don't know, for a 6-month tour, you got to have enough money each month to survive, so that's another case where you would save up and make regular payments for it. All right, last example. How much money would you need to invest today, so that tells you PV, okay, at 8.3 compounded monthly to provide you with a monthly payment of, so as soon as you see monthly payment, you know you're going to R equals 1,000 here, okay, for the next 10 years. Okay, so what do we know? We're looking for PV, so it's telling us, okay, we need the I, so I is your interest rate, change it to a decimal, 0.083. divided by compounded monthly, so it's going to be 12. So for your N, it's going to be 12 times a year times 10 years. Okay, so that equals 120 for N. Since you've already written the formula up above, you can just sub it in. So 1,000. I know we need a big line. 1 minus 1 plus 0.083 divided by 12. 2 closing brackets, negative 120, another closing bracket. Divided by, put your I in brackets as well, 0.083 divided by 12. Plug your calculator, you should have $81,354.66. Okay? So let's do a therefore statement. So therefore, you need $81,354.66 in a pot, okay, now or today, to have regular monthly payments of $1,000. Okay? And that's for 10 years. I should put that in. All right, class, here's your homework. Page 521, numbers 5, 6, and 8. Start reviewing for your test. because that's coming up. And depending on what type of year it is, ladies and gentlemen, we may not be having a test due to time constraints. So ask Miss R ahead of time, and I'll let you know either on the website or just ask me, and I'll tell you if we have time for the unit test. I do want to make sure we have enough time to review for the final exam and get you prepared for that as well. Have a great day, guys. It's been great doing lessons with you, and I hope you've had fun along the way. I will be back with the review lessons, but hey, just wanted to say thanks for being a good audience. And please give me any feedback about these lessons because I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.